Yo, this week I wanted to play with canvases and old book pages again. I like doing that, and I still have this book partially going. So I wanted this time to recycle various random things. So an ex of mine from a few years ago used to give a lot of random gifts and stuff, and there was a bunch of rose petals and like fake roses out of some gift that I kept. I threw the gift away, but I kept the roses because I figured I'd use those petals at some point. Anyways, so I have those petals, and then I have that book that I had started pulling pages out for a previous video. And then this time, instead of putting the whole page down, so it's like a page, I'm cutting the picture and the joke out of the joke pages so that I can put them around just kind of wherever I want. So cutting out the images and the words of this children's book and just putting anywhere so that it covers the canvas. So I play with it a whole bunch before I whip out the Mod Podge to try to move them around and stuff. And then I just kind of wing it once I do actually start putting them down, because you can't really like plan it with this many little pieces, because I don't have any fingernails to pick things up so it gets stuck on the canvas, because I don't like how fingernails feel, so I don't have any grip to pick stuff up. So anyways, blah, 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 blather. So use any book that's got pictures and words in it, and you can make this work. A joke book obviously would be best. This just happens to be some old joke book that I've had, I don't even know how long. I might have found this in my great-grandmother's library, but I also might have bought it. I don't remember. Before I knew my great-grandmother had a library, I hoarded books. I would get books everywhere I could get books. And then I moved to this state, and my great-grandmother had an actual library in her attic. Oh my God. I literally moved into the attic. I had to live next to that library, and I loved it. And I turned the library into kind of like a little doll zone, because I have a doll collection. So I needed somewhere to put my collection, right? So there were all of the bookshelves and stuff in the library, and then her various chairs and lamps and things. And then there was a corner where I just put all of the dolls that I had. I put the tables out, the chair sets, little rugs and stuff. It was cute. And one of my sister's dogs a little dog, she's a Chihuahua Terrier. She would just go lay amongst the dolls, and you wouldn't be able to see her. So you'd like look around in the library, and finally you'd like spot her, this little blonde girl, just amongst the dolls in the doll furniture. So I thought that was cute. I liked the library a lot. Bummed to have lost it, but I at least kept my great-grandmother's books. I have a bunch of books that she would use for she was a social worker, and she did a lot of stuff with like child development and stuff. So I have all of the child development books and workbooks, and it's really cool stuff. She was a cool lady. Anyways, so I have no idea why I'm talking about my library. I don't have a library in this house. It's just books literally everywhere. There's certain books I put in the apothecary, so the apothecary books are obviously out there, but then also all of the books that are so I really like Piers Anthony, so all of his books are out there. I like to keep those together. All of the children's books are out there, so we've collected in my life many, 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 many children's books, and any book that was important to one of us, I probably have in the apothecary in a specific children's book spot. In the basement, I have all the books that are over 100 years old. They're completely protected. I did not want anything bad to happen to those. Those are cool. I'm really enjoying having 100-year-old books that were my great-great-grandmother's, possibly even her mom's. I don't know where she got all her stuff. So anyways, those books. And then I took the books out of my room because I felt like it was messy in here. But I put them on a table in my porch. So there's two different porches in this house. My porch is the garden porch, and then my mom's is on the other side. So my porch has my book pile that I was actually going to read, but I have limited attention span for reading as I get older. So the ones that I plan to read are in a specific spot. And then all the ones that I can't get rid of because I might want them again in the future are on the main bookshelf. So obviously I love Harry Potter. That's all I ever wear. Most of my clothes. I bought the entire display of Harry Potter clothes once a few years ago, and I've lived in those clothes ever since, basically. So anyways, I don't even know why I'm talking about this. So those books are out there on that shelf, and a bunch of other fun stuff on that shelf. All Mom's books and her like child development stuff's out there. And then I guess there's more books that I left in my bed. So I wanted a very, very specific bed so that I could have drawers in it for storage. So my bed has 6 drawers on each side. There's books all up in the bed. It's like specific types of books have to go in specific places, you know. And then technically I have books over here, I guess, and in my dresser. So I ran out of room for specific books, and I had one book that was special that I needed to be like segregated so I could find it. So I put that one in with my long sleeve shirts because I don't have enough long sleeve shirts to completely fill the drawer. There's enough space for me to have put my notebook in there just so I can find it. So anyways, blathering about books. Use whatever book you want. And I left the little ends sticking off because I liked it. Usually I would curl those under, but I didn't feel the need with this because I liked how they looked sticking off. So with the Mod Podge, you do want to use it sparingly because too much takes too long to dry and it'll start to bubble and like leave little air bubbles in your project. You want it to be flat, so you need it to be very limited. So yeah, put some Mod Podge under and then put the thing down and then Mod Podge around the edges to like hold it down. And then Mod Podge the entire top of this. Since I'm not painting over this one, I Mod Podged the whole top because it's not going to make a difference. It's not going to like prevent me from using my paint pens or something. So here's my just like wonky wiggly stick your pages down in your mess. And I did like it like that and considered just leaving it like that. But I specifically wanted to do this thing with the weird flower petals. So I did it. So I take the thing that he had bought me that had all these flower petals was this box with a rose on top, and then inside there was a necklace and tons of flower petals. So of course I liked the little roses. I mean, it's my name. So I like roses. So I kept the roses and the rose petals. So with the actual main rose that it had, I wanted that in the middle because it had like the leaves and stuff and it was just cute and fun. But then most of the other little roses that it came with were partially falling apart. There was no like glue in them or anything to hold them together. So I just peeled the petals off so I had individual petals. And then the petals are also, so like the very outside of the roses had, you know, shaped petals. And then the inside was just smooth petals, just as filler. So I used the smooth, not very fun, shapy petals around the absolute outside of my ring. And then in between, so like petal, petal. And then in between on the top, I would do the petal that's actually shaped nice. So the ones that you see on the top are shapy like rose petals. Does that make sense? Wait for the thing to completely dry for the Mod Podge before you ever want to hot glue other things. You don't want to put stuff on top of drying Mod Podge. That's tragic. You got to let it dry. But it does dry pretty fast. So then I whipped out the hot glue gun and I just did a little segment around the outside, you know, and then stuck as many petals as fit and then the ones in the middle. And then I just worked section by section. And I was originally going to put another ring in the middle, but I did like just the one ring on the outside because I have that weird rose in the middle. And I liked that the rose in the middle kind of draws your eye. So no matter what angle you're standing at, you're drawn to the middle. And then it's also got all of the drawings around it. So I have that weird screaming face on top of it. So I feel like no matter where you look, you're seeing the fun screaming face, just a piece of it though. So this art might be just completely weird, but I liked it. It's a fun addition to the mural. So it completely is so much different than every other painting I have on the mural. Most of my paintings on the mural were a specific type of painting. I was doing line work paintings out there. So the point of the mural was that I just wanted to paint a mural. I own a house and nobody can tell me not to paint my house. So one day I just decided the kitchen needs to get repainted eventually anyway by professionals because it's cathedral ceiling and I can't stand on a ladder. I'll just yeet myself off the side. I just overcorrect my balance. So I can't paint my own kitchen, but I could paint a mural. And then if it turned out not to be great, just have the professional paint over it. So I painted a mural in my kitchen and I wanted it to feel Alice in Wonderland themed. So I did big giant flowers and my favorite bird, roseate spoonbill, and then a bunch of bugs and stuff so that it's like you're in a garden. It feels like you're wandering around the Alice in Wonderland garden. So anyways, I put a bunch of paintings on the mural so that the wall feels like art that is 3D, so that it's all a thing, you know. So anyways, I just keep putting my art out there. And then to hang things, so I show on this, you need your hot glue gun, a piece of felt, and either string or some kind of wire or something. Just put a giant glob of the hot glue down, stick your wire or your string in it, you know, and then cover. You just put the felt in your hot glue glob and push it in. It'll dry really fast, and it'll leave a little loop of either string or wire, whatever you used, a bobby pin, a paper clip. I mean, you can get creative. I just happen to have string next to me, so I used string for this one. So yeah, here's my weird art. Thanks for watching.